Alright guys, welcome back. You know who it is, Ronnie here, Mooch 73. Been busy boy as ever. Busy boy. Let me just spin yous around here a bit. There you go. Welcome guys, welcome. I'm in the I'm in my kit room. I'm just finishing up. I am here guys, I am here. I'm just finishing up. I've been sorting the kit room still. I still ain't built my shelves up. I've got another rack of shelves. They're on the floor mainly at the minute. Actually, better move them bits over there. But yeah, emptying out Bob camper van. Been giving him a clean through interior wise because we're going away. Let me bring you around this side a bit, I think, because this is where Scrumpy's still going. So yeah, one moment, I'm still with you. Shut this door up properly. It's cold in here, mate. Cold in here. 11 degrees, I presume. Let's have a look. Yeah, the standard out here. Don't know if you're going to get to see it. 11 Celsius. Right, yeah. I've been having to tidy up. Bring stuff in out of the camper van, out of Bob. And just basically getting by, doing what needs to be done. Zip ties here, mini ones for the catapult catch box and all sorts of malarkey, I just thought I'd come through because I ain't been on for a while. I've been planning to get out, and as ever, this comes up, that comes up, rah-de rah rah. But yeah, we're away. We're going for Christmas. I'm going to bring my chair round. I've got to make myself a little heater for out here. And I think I know I'm going to do it. Guys. To put me a mini heater out here. Now, I see a guy the other week doing a heater, a mini heater out of a beer can. And, good idea. Now, fortunately over here, sorry, it wasn't a beer can, it was a cola can, Coke can. Now, fortunately over here, you can obviously at home do it with a beer can if you want to tool up. But fortunately over here, we have beer cans called Faxer. Now, I think there's a few pubs, few off licenses. I don't know about the supermarkets, but I know there's a few off licenses back home that do Faxer. I think there's one in Dagenham down at the Oxo Lane. I think they do them. I'm sure that's where my old man was saying, somewhere along that lines. But yeah, so what I will be doing in the future, I'm just going to order some steel mesh, like bug mesh, whatever you want to call it. That's what I see it on Amazon as. Now, I'm going to make myself a little heater that will do in here. Yeah, it's a can, so you could, using the biofuel, the bioethanol, which I have up here. Basically, you get 2 cans. I will do a vid, right? Basically, you get 2 cans. Not a 2 can before people start, not the bird. Get 2 cans. Tins, if you wish. Now, what you do with them is you cut them, say, about 3/4 of the way up. Take that top off. Do the same with the other can, roughly measure. Get them the same sort of size. Then what you do is you put a hole in the top of one can. You could slide the cans, the mesh gauze will go inside, right? So you could seal the can too. But then when you're out, you can open it up. You'll have the mesh gauze. And what you're doing there, right? Right, I like this one. I see in all of these guys there, they're using like big shout out as ever. Des Catties, Born Outside Tim, and a few others. Now this is one of Dev's little fuel stoves. It's basically the same idea, right? See the gauze in there, the mesh, yeah, the steel mesh. So because it's steel, it don't melt, or it takes a much longer time, whichever. So the plan is, you cut your cans, like I say, there's a BOF normal here, right? You cut the can, say this height, keep in the bottom section. Now you do the same again with another can, right? Between them two cans, you put the cans together, just so they're like touching. They ain't got to seal together, guys. They ain't got to have the top one a little bit more indented so it can slide in. I suppose you could do that if you want to carry it, but then that means your gauze won't be measured the width of your two cans together, right? You'd have to go a bit shorter. So what I will do is I'll have it the same length as what my two cans are together. Then you slide the gauze inside the metal steel mesh inside your bottom can. The bottom, whichever one, they're both bottoms, but you get the gist. So you slide one inside, the gauze inside, then you can put your top on it. Most people, they use a BOF bioethanol, so to us Brits, bioethanol to the Deutsch. Now, most guys, what they do is they make up one of these little quick brew stoves, right? And make up one of them. They're ideal, they're banging. If you're out and you need a quick cup of tea and you don't want to get a full kit out, what I do, now I've got this, say it again, there you go, guys. Des Catties, you'll find him on Instagram, right? You'll find he's got a YouTube channel. Now you whack a bit of liquid in that, whack a flame on it, boom, you're going. It's as easy as that. If you've got, like I've got, small setups, or you want to put like the Trangia style casing round it, which you can put a top on, top Deutsch, here we go. You can put a saucepan on top, or a little brew kit, whatever. Now, they're banging, they're ideal, they're a cushy bit of kit, but I'm going one more. Because when you extend the cans out and you can see that gauze, I will drop briquettes of coal in there, right? Then, which would be the top can, let's put it that way, the top can. Then you drill a little hole, I don't know, a few not millimeters, but you know, say about 5-6 mil drill bit, whatever, width wise. So you just drill a hole through the bottom, the top can, right? Now your coal's inside it, in the bottom of the unit, let's call it that, right? The heating element, right? This is your fuel. You're going to drop the briquettes in this can, so they're on the inside, obviously, of your gauze, your mesh, right? Then what you do is through that hole, you can add your bioethanol. Then come from the side, and if you've got one of them, the long-nosed, long snout, whatever you want to call it, the long, you know, we used to use them, well, we didn't, but people use them, they're pipe lighters, or like, yeah, for sparking your stove up in the house, your gas cooker, whatever. But yeah, the idea is then is you can whack your flame through the caging at the side, and you've got yourself a heater, guys. You've got yourself an heater. It'll heat this room up. I won't be sitting at 11 degrees in here constantly anymore. And this room, it's got a good thing for like damp. Yeah, it holds a lot of moisture in it. So at the moment, what I'm using is these, and that already is going like a block, right? Get them on Amazon, I think it was. Sabina got me them. There's a bag, and all that does, the crystals, sucks the moisture out the air, right? So to keep as much that damp out of this room, I've got a couple. I've got another one up on the shelf here. But let me show you. Look, I'll spin this. Here we go. Look, guys, I'm in it to win it, ain't I? I've got enough lamp oil there. It's 10 litres of that style. And there's 4 of these. These come off Amazon. And I found these in action here in Deutschland. Now, because I've got the lamps, storm lanterns, there's a fire gel up here as well. And there's a bioethanol from the same brand. Now, it's handy for me to have that stuff, right? And the price I pay, 25, 26 euro for 6 of them off Amazon, I paid, yeah, around about the same, and I got 10 litre from Action. So if you're in Deutschland and you want to get some fuel, whether it's bioethanol, gas, or you want a fire gel, now that fire gel, I'm not going to use that like I do sometimes with my fire gel blocks that go to my little stove there, right? I'm not going to use that fire gel in that. That is for fires. That is for fires, end of. And like, I was just, I was sitting there the other day, when was it? It must have been Wednesday. I'm sitting there watching a bit of YouTube, and I'm watching this fella, and he's coming up with all these ways of making like preppers heaters and stuff. And when I'm watching, I think to myself, do you know what? Using bioethanol, that's a lot of bioethanol you've got to use to just throw out a little bit of heat. And then I just thought to myself, what happens if you cut it, make yourself a chamber, put the mesh in it, sort of like one of the idea of one of them, what they, UCO, whatever you call it, lanterns, you pop them up, you've got your candle in it, you spark your candle up, you've got yourself a little lantern, ain't you, right? UCO make them. Well, I was thinking then, well, if you get the can, drop some coal in it, slide it apart. If you've got blockhead coal, not briquette, not lump wood, right? And you're looking at a bioethanol of, I don't know what this one actually is, percentage alcohol wise now. Do you know, I've never looked at it, but this is clean. This is a very clean burning one. This is a few yo-yos this one cost me. This is from over here, paint specialists for specialty finishes, right? But I haven't seen on here it being Deutsch and the writing so bloody small. I ain't seen what the percentage is, whether it's 91 or it's 95 or whatever. But you want something around that sort of range, and then you could have it in a room and you won't get too much the fumes, the smell, it burn. The cleaner you can get it to burn, the better, innit, So that's my plan. That's my plan. I'm going to make myself one, and I'm not going to use these cola can like this guy was doing, cutting out a cola can and making himself like one of these. Right, I don't even know if I put the lid on that properly. I keep promoting it for you, Des Cat. It's like, I can't help myself. I do love it, though. It is a cushy little thing. But yeah, I was thinking to myself, if you take that gauze, run it up their sides, like you make yourself a UCO lantern. And I thought to myself, you want a fuel in there, but you don't want to keep trying to, if lighting it up constantly, refilling it with the bioethanol, the bioethanol, right? You don't want to keep doing that constantly. So I thought myself, do you know what? If you put a gauze on it, a mesh, if you put a mesh on it, and I use one of them Faxa beer cans, well, 2 of them I will need, but we use them because they're wider. I'll get more coal in it. right? And once that bioethanol catches that cola light, that's going to hold heat and burn for a long time. Longer than just doing it inside a Coke can, which this guy was making his, his stove from. His Hobo Stoves, they call them. That's the one I was thinking of. And, you know, big shout out. There's a few people out there. They're pretty dab hands with it. Log hoppers quality. They've done a little one, make a stove and stuff. They're good ideas. They're handy to have, especially with log hoppers, because if you've never watched log hoppers on YouTube, guys, I suggest you get over to them, because they are constantly outdoors. They live outdoors. They are absolutely amazing, right? Nice couple. What's his name? Mod and Tara. Shout out to them, quality people. I like watching their videos. And they're what do we call them? Nomads, if you want to put it that way. Obviously, at certain times of the year, they're up north Scotland, places like that. And then when the weather obviously gets harsh up there, they move back down south and they plot up in woodland and stuff. And they have some cushy ideas that work, you know, not like, you know, there's a lot of these prepper channels you'll watch out there, and like, they're trying to sell you stuff. They're trying to sell you stuff, right? They tell you, yeah, this works and that works. When you're watching all the YouTube videos, they're sitting indoors constantly and they're just telling you. And you know what they're telling you? You can use my Amazon link. Yeah, mate. Yeah, mate. Of course you can. Of course you can. Sausage, you know? No. If these guys ain't out there trying testing, right? If it ain't tried and tested, ain't for me. And it shouldn't be for a lot of you know? It's like, what's his name? From the Bug Out. Like Lee says, you know, you've got to get out there with your kit. It's a bug out bags. Like I've always moaned about them. You know, you got a bug out bag. You got a get home bag. You got a bag gone forever and ever. Amen. So you know what I'm saying? Listen, as far as I'm concerned, you need one bag, right? And I would put that down to maybe that is going to be the bag where you can't come back to where you live, right? You can't come back. Whether it be a criminal activity you've participated in, naughty, right? Or something's really gone off, yeah? So, you know, you can look at, oh yeah, look, Ron's got 3 packs here, right? Trooper. Islander Trooper 65 litre. They don't make the Islander Trooper 65 no more. Good bag though, I must say. It was before, I think, Islander. No disrespect, but I think they got it a bit, yeah. They're still better than going to buy some of these bags that people are building and selling on their Amazon accounts, right? It's going out and they're sitting in the woods, sitting by a river, and they spark up a stove and they sit there and that's them, you know. These day pack dudes and that, you know. They're preppers. We'll tell you what you should have, right? See them. You separate the wheat from the chaff when you watch a lot of these. You've got to. Because what's good for one guy, like I've said before, ain't good for everyone. So if you're making a bag up to go out the door, right, things you've got to take into consideration is are you going to have that bag pre-packed, ready to go? Because if you are, your bug out bag, your day pack, whatever, what happens if you have to be out more than 72 hours or more than 24 hours at the area? Is that bag now going to be sufficient enough? What you're carrying with you? You know, you might have a 72-hour bag. Something might go down, like this village might fucking, excuse me language, this village might switch, power might go. We had water go a little while ago. So, yeah, I had to come up with some ideas. Filter water, because we've got a water butt. Filter it, purify it, you know. Fortunately, I've got things like, if push comes to shove, right here next to me, look. I've always got water tablets of that. I've always had them. I don't show a lot of my kit and that, you know, because if you live in a city and you're doing videos and yeah, and this is my room and do, right? Somebody out there is watching, right? And if they're in desperate need, they're coming. Let's just put it that way. It don't matter who you think you are. Rambo, Rocky, Terminator. You know, the size and that and what you got is different to if you can use it. So yeah, I suggest, you know, you're making a bag up. I won't go for a 24-hour, 72-hour bag. I'd have a bag that's got kit in it that's sufficient that if I'm going to be out there longer, I can't do an if but or maybe. It's better to have than not have. They say the more knowledge you got, the less you need. So basic thing you want to look at is, do you want to take a blanket or do you want to take a sleeping bag? Pros and cons, you know. You've got to weigh it up. You might only be gone a few days, so you might be gone for a week. But in your bag, your bug out 72-hour bag, if you've got a wool blanket in there, fine. But if you've got a sleeping bag and it's summer and you're bugging out and you've only got a summer bag, but you end up being out there into autumn and you're in a bag that's only good to like 5 degrees, after that your nuts start freezing, yeah? Well, what happens then? What happens then when you have a drop in temperature of a night? You know, you got to take into all the elements where you live. You live in Northern Europe, the hemisphere, right? The Northern Hemisphere. You're up in Northern Europe. And before any Brit starts screaming, shut up, you are in Europe. You left the EU. You didn't leave Europe. So, like, you know, there's a lot you've got to take into account. It's like, you know, I come home and when I'm home, I pick up things like these. Right? Because we all know these sterilising tablets, they're a die-by, aren't they? You use them to sterilise the alcohol bottles, right? I don't use hot water. Sabina used hot water on one of these 10-litre bottles here and it shattered. It shattered, and this is thick glass. But because the bottle had been outside and it was a cold, because it had been outside, sitting outside for a few days, you brought it in and hot water in it, boom, it blew apart. But then she went direct kettle water and put it straight in. But there you go. So, like, yeah, there's a lot to take into account. And there's a lot of people, like I say, you've got to separate the wheat from the chaff. Now, if this can idea I have is any good, you guys be the first to know about it. Because once I order that gauze and I get myself 2 cans of beer, then like, yeah, I'm gonna give this a go, and I'll build it. I'll come in here. I know, you know, cut that mesh. I can use an old pair of scissors. Cut that can out and use the knife, and then clean up the edges a bit, get it more straight with a pair of scissors. Yeah, a drill, or if you've got another method of piercing it. But the trouble is, then, is you're gonna pierce it with a hammer and nail. Put a nail through it. You're gonna balls up the crush a can, ain't you? Because the cans are thin these days, like paper thin, aren't they? So, you know what I mean? So, like, you've got to look at that. Now, what would you do? If you ain't got a drill, but you've got a hand cordless, just a screwdriver, right? Maybe think about just running a screw through that, you know, to make the hole. Because you ain't got to put too much pressure then. You could say, like, say that's the bottom, but the top of the heater unit, you could hold it tight to the top there, and if you can just put a little indentation, sorry, because sod this light around it, like on this plastic jar, you got that far, you just go through it with a screwdriver, electric screwdriver. You know, it's just like, there's even basic things like, look, for a little bit of light, but you don't want real loads of it, right? Here's something I've done. And it don't throw out loads of light. There's a melted candle in there, so I don't know when that happened. But like, I just got a bit from a glue gun, and I put myself a little bit of reflective card You know, like off the top of a takeaway when you go down to Chinese. Now, I don't know if I've got a... Yeah, I have. Now, it don't give you... It don't throw you out loads. Have I got a normal one in here? No, just this one. I don't know if I'm going to get it light because I haven't got a... What's it with me? Let's have a go. Because I've got to try and drop it in there, haven't I, in that jar without it going out. Which, bump, and it goes out. Oh, it's a light. Right there. It's got a reflective. I'll give you a look, see if we can get a... Is that on there? Yeah, look. Right. So something like that, if you're outside, right? If you're outside, a little bit of reflective card in there, and that's thrown out quiet. Not masses. You don't want to, you know, people have these big torches. Let me put lights back on. People have all these big powerful torches. Look at me with my own light. Yeah. And it's so many 1,200 aluminum or whatever it is. Like I've got a 1,200 aluminum headlamp. Now, that headlamp, I don't use that when I'm out. You see me videos, I use glow sticks. I don't need that much light. Most of the places, especially here, unless you're, there you go, look, I just stuck a few in that jar. Alright, it's a glass jar. Maybe I should get something to protect it. But a lot of the time, that's one of the last things that goes in my kit when I do take it out with me, you know. And obviously, there are always citronella candles I have with me in there. I don't care what time of the year it is. I still use them anyway. And they're pretty good ones. So, in there, I've got 4. I could do them sideways and probably get 5 in there. But look, something as easy as that, guys, you know. Something as just, you know, you ain't got to go right out the box. You ain't got to be out there, whoa, I'm going to need this light, and do-do-do-do, and it's all a load of codswallop. You want enough light that you can get round that light, you can do what you got to do or whatever, you know. All right, like I say, I've got a few glow sticks. They're ideal, they mark me out where I'm at. If I'm out there walking around on the mooch in the dark, I've got a headlamp. Yeah, I use a headlamp for if I'm looking up at roosting birds. Right? Yeah? I'm out of the area. I ain't nowhere near where my camper be. So if I had to gel, if I had to get out there and take my kit, grab my tarp, do I need a sleeping bag? I will load my bag before I have to go. You know, and it ain't the case with me, it'd be a panic. No, because straight away, I'm like, this time of year now, during this week coming, we're going to be dropping down to like 0, -1, stuff like that. So then I'm like, okay, I need an intermediate bag. So then I take out my middleweight British Army bag, or I could grab a Snappack Sleeper Zero from... Most of my bags are up indoors, so I won't have my kit out here. Certain kits out here, the rest don't, you know. So you can look, and if you're lucky enough like I have now, you've got a kit room, right? These I'm going to turn into my own wicks. See these? I can't even remember what they was out of. Something can work. So if I twist them and I bash them, this will go tighter, right? These sort of wicks, they won't be for running a fuel on. I'll show you. All you need is that, right? You want to get a start. You start with an amber, right? I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it off of here because it's awkward holding it. But you're just going to catch that light, get it glowing, not catch it light. You know. Maybe I should have done something else with it first. But like, once you get a spark on there, it will, I'll cheat, right? That's with a flame. But like, look, is it still going? Just go. right? That is enough. You'd keep that going. And when you keep that blowing on that, right, just gently, not as hard as I just did it, right? You keep that going, that's enough to stick in with lint out your pockets. You know, if you've got a fuzz away over in the UK, I've got one over here. And all that lint, I keep that. When I buzz over something like one of these fleeces, it's British Army fleece. When I buzz it over, it's a Phillips one, and this chunky monkey head on it like that. Fuzzaways or where, I don't know, they've all got different names. But anyway, I'll keep that lint and I'll put that in a sealy bag, right? Because that, whether it be cotton, whether it be a nylon, it's all going to help on a fire in an emergency. I don't keep masses of it, you know. Price that place like. I don't keep masses of it. Like, even here, an original set, which are really rocking old crap to get hold of. The off colour. They're not white, look. Right? They're expensive. They're expensive. But them, some of you know what they are. These are Swiss Army bunker candles, right? So you've got to adapt, you've got to overcome, you've got to think what's going to work for you. And when you get it, you know, a lot of it's going to be give or take. You're going to have to get rid of things. You know what I mean? So, oh, that don't really work for me. I bought it. These people suggest it, rah. But if they tested it, one thing works for them, don't work for you. You know? So anyway, I'm going to crack on. How long have we going now? 31 minutes already. I'm going to crack on, stop me waffling. I've got a few more bits I need to bring in. As you can see, tent out of Bob, table out of Bob, 2 chairs out of Bob. Everything's down here, look. The Rich Monkey grill barbecue, dual fuel. And it's got the hot plate bit to it there as well. And like, getting it out of the van, there's another electric one in there and stuff like that. Now, while I'm at it, before I gel, we're going away, but ration packs, I've just bunged to it. All right, we ain't going away till Christmas, but I've bunged to USMREs in the van already, right? Because anything does go wrong, I know we ain't going far, we ain't leaving Germany and we're going up on the North Sea, we're just going up past Holland. Ostfriesland, they call it over here. East Friesland, we'd call it, whatever. And like, we break down on the side of the motorway, you know, and we're in between service stations. We can't get to getting any grub or anything. We're stuck in the van with a dog, right? So we ain't, you know, yeah, we're going to have cooked food we can cook for when we get up there. We do our shopping here before we go up, because we're away 2 weeks roughly. We're away over Christmas, Boxing Day to the UK people, my birthday 28th December, and New Year. Then we'll be coming back. So like, if we get stuck up there on the side of a motorway, we get Ain't Marvin, so to speak, hungry, right? Then I can always nip round the back of the van, pop the back open, slide, open a little door up where I keep my kit when we go out. Right, my catapult's just come out of there, and where have I just put that? Or is it still on here? My folding saw, yeah, that's on there. Barco, whatever you call it. Still cushy little saucies. It's been through some, this one. But yeah, still a cushy little saw. Done a good few years. On the same blade still. You know, it's just handy that we've got something. We can just go bang. Obviously, I'll grab the winter gas. It's only had one go out of this. It's sitting inside here. And anyone wants to know that name of that cover is a Spiro. Right? Spiro. They're in there. This is, make sure I'm right, take the bottom off first. In here, that's a Primus winter gas. Right. Now that, compared with my little Bullin, has been our go-to. It's been our go-to. When we've needed to grub up and we was over in the UK, we didn't even spark the barbecue up, the Rich Monkey. We just got the Rich Monkey grill pan, the toaster, whatever they want to call it, you know. And I've done eggs and bacon sandwiches in it, done this in it, done that in it. And now we've got another one, chef finger. And it's bigger, right? So I can stuff more in it. And it's got, with that, it's got a silicone seal around it. So when you do flip it over, if you've got a little bit of fat in there, it ain't all dripping out. Like with a Ridge Monkey. Ridge Monkeys, they need to sort that out, see? I used to love a bit of Ridge Monkey when I was fishing and that years ago. It was one of our go-tos, Ridge Monkey. But like, Ridge Monkey's just become, I don't know, it's like shopping on Wish or somewhere, you know, a bit of Temu shit now. But hey-oh, that's how it goes. So anyway, I'm going to boogie on, because like I say, I've got some more bits I need to sort out. I've got to order some more winter gas, talking of it. I've got a little one here, but it's a screw top. If it weren't a screw top, it'd go in my lantern. Right? Now this lantern only takes the pushings. But this little lantern, some gas in it, right? This little lantern there is handy. Little Coleman's, I don't know what they call it now, camping gas. But like here, we bought the set. We had the set, but like, look, here's another. That was from the set, right? But now, these ones, they're not winter gas, but they're screw-ins, right? So it means I've got to have two, not just two different gases. It's the valve on the top, right? So because I don't really use that, I don't even think there's a, oh, hold up. No, there ain't even another one of them, you know? But I've got extreme, that Coleman's gas down there. That Coleman gas, that little one I just picked up, that's to, there you go, shows you on there. Extreme gas, minus 27, guys, right? There you go. It's that time of year. Do I want to be faffing around, getting out there, and I've got the wrong gas at the wrong time of year? In my rucksack, in my go bag? No. Why? Because it's going to balls things up, all right? For some, it won't make it as complicated as it would for others, right? And yeah, I do carry gas in that, because out here, guys, right, we can't be just blatantly having fires. We ain't meant to be wild camping. So, like, I have to work with what I can work with, what I can do and what I can't do, the rules of the book and shit like that. But, you know, you just got to think, oh, I'm fortunate, I live in the UK, I can dig a pit fire, sink the flames down, sink the fire down into a hole, right? But then at the time of year, if it's summer and you do that and all the roots and that, and especially like even in winter, the pine tree, you know, your conifers and that, they keep all that oil and they will catch a light in the ground that will burn, it can. Pockets of air, roots that die and rot back down in the ground don't mean the whole tree's dead. But then what that does do is leave air pockets, right? People ain't talking to you about that stuff because most of them don't even know about that stuff. But they're all the proffies, they're all these guys out there. So like I say, I'm going to love yous and leave you. Separate the wheat from the chaff. Do it your way. Get a little bit of info off of everybody, right? And separate it. Work out for you. Work out what's best for you. Don't be going on one channel. I won't say the fella's name. But don't be jumping up on his channel and then this do and yeah, you can buy this from my Amazon. Because whatever's in that bag, mate, whatever's in that bag might not even be damn good for you, any good for you. You know, it's like, here, I've got med stuff here. I don't know what the hell that is, it's held down. Oh, they're the tapes. But I've got med pack here, right? These bags in Deutschland, you can only have one of these for so many years in your car. Then, by law, you've got to change out and buy another one. So, I'm like, not wasting all that, right? We ain't wasting all that. I've kept all them wound patches and, you know, all these different dressings, gloves, disposable gloves, 4 packets, and I keep it because you just don't know. It's a spool of, yeah, like the breathable tape in there, see? You just don't know when you're going to run out and you've got to refill, right? So I keep it. So, oh, this one's out of date, this has got to go. What's out of date? What are you telling me Deutschland's out of date? 2004. Right? 2004 printed stamped on there. I don't know if you're going to see it. Faintly, look. Right? So it's out of date. Yeah? So you can't use this kit anymore. I've got another one behind here. Red one. With like loads of the space blanket style, you know, Milo. Right? I got 1842. Still got a bag of tubes, catapults, right? I've got a mini first aid pack here. I've got an IFAC. I've got an IFAC in the motor. Yeah, look, in here, I've got basic stuff. Right, packet of tissues. Dextro Energies. Right. These are gauze, bandage, whatever you want to call it. I've got a Sealy bag with some plasters and stuff in it. I've got a pair of scissors in there. I've got an old oatmeal that's probably, yeah, it's a right old mess. It's a carbon blade. Somebody will probably go, oh, you can bring that up and rah rah rah, see me. It's sharp. Might be rusty. It's more patina than it is rust. But like, that's sitting in there. I've got a pair of scissors sitting in there. I've got 2 ibuprofen. Sugar-free throat tablets. You know, some gloves. You know, it's nothing much in there. Oh, wait up. What are these? Acid indigestion tablets there. So, you know, it's just little things you got to keep kit for you, ain't you, you know? They're going, oh, you've got to stock up on this and stock up on that. Listen, think about what medicines you need. You need. Your family needs. They're the sort of things you need to be packing in a medical pack that you're going to take. Your go bag. Go bag, your own bag. Going out camping bag, your hand bag, your bum bag, your hip bag, your underarm sling bag. There's all these bags. And do you know what I find all about it? It's all low old cod wallop. But anyway, like I say, I'm out of here. I'm done. I love you and leave you. And look, I've hit 44 minutes. I'm out, guys, right? I've got things to do. Hopefully, I keep saying I'm going to get out camping at one point. But yeah, I'm going to. That's a tiny little wood stove I just noticed. And I've got one Tigris wood stove as well. I ain't even used them for a long time. But I know they work. So I kept them. I ain't selling them on. Bing bong, I'm gone. Moat 73, I'm Ron. Squeeze you later. I'm out of it, guys. Love yous, leave yous, right? Just, you know, just don't be dazzled by everything that everybody's got. Just don't be, you know, think of you first. You first, even with your family, you know. You got to make sure you're right. If you're right, then you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna need this as well because the missus needs this, or the kids need this, or what about your dogs, you know? Dog food and all that, everything, you know what I mean? All right, a lot of people know we don't take dog food. No, fair enough, you don't. I don't need to. My dog can go raw. My dog can go raw. And when people got skills like I got, I don't even need a supermarket. I even gone out and bought a couple of weeks ago, because of my trouble I've had with my heart and everything, to lower cholesterol and stuff like that. I've even gone out and bought a book there that's a plant medicine, right? So, like, you know, you got to remember, people like, books? No, watch it on YouTube, Google it. Listen, mate, when a system goes down and you ain't got no electric and you can't even get on the internet, right? Books where the knowledge is. The knowledge is in your head and it's in a book. Books don't age, man. Technology ages. Books don't. I'm out.